several pages. I'll keep it under 3 minutes. How about that? And thank you for the opportunity to come before you and speak on this matter this afternoon. I am Sheriff Marshall of Blue Island County, looking at the map, looking at data center and the funds. Thank you for the opportunity to make a few brief remarks regarding the usage of federal Medicaid funds for potential enhancement in the area of public safety. I would like to state that my position on this use of funds reflect my individual opinions. I strongly support utilizing these funds to assist the Commonwealth in funding the public safety sector. As a current sheriff for 14 years, I speak in reference to sheriff's offices and jails. These funds will aid in augmenting the state's general fund to support funding for prisoner jail per diems, appropriate and funding law enforcement deputies of 1 to 1,500. While the current budget proposal fills some vacancies, there's still a gap. Unfunded correctional officer positions, support staff, deputy salaries, and the Line of Duty Act will greatly benefit from these funds. The funds will assist the Commonwealth in meeting its public safety obligation and help release some burden placed on localities to meet the obligation. Thus, in return, will benefit all citizens. While there are certainly other areas of discussion of how to use these funds may be appropriate and appropriate, I urge you to receive the funds and utilize the designated amount to assist and enhance public safety in the Commonwealth. Thank you for your time and your consideration.
Thank you, sir. Okay, next speaker is Jack Tuttle, City Manager of Williamsburg.
Mr. Chairman, honorable members of the committee, good afternoon. Again, I'm Jack Tuttle, privileged being the City Manager of Williamsburg, and Williamsburg is a member of the Virginia Municipal League of Cities. I'd like to speak particularly to the Line of Duty Act measures as they relate to this upcoming budget. When the General Assembly approved the Line of Duty Act in 1972, the program provided for a simple cash payment of $10,000 to a short list of state and local public safety officers whose death occurred in the line of duty. Certainly a noble initiative, although not one done at the behest of local government. Over time, the General Assembly added more employee groups, along with more expansive benefits to the Line of Duty Act. Again, these actions were not done at the request of local government. Then a big expansion of the Act came in 1976 to provide cash benefits upon the death of public safety officers who were disabled under the presumption of heart and lung disease. In 1998, the legislature amended the program again to include state payments for health insurance benefits for disabled employees, their spouses and dependents, and for spouses and dependents of deceased employees. The cash payments for beneficiaries to officers killed in the line of duty are now $100,000, and cash payments for beneficiaries of officers disabled under heart, lung, and cancer presumption who died within 5 years, $25,000. But these cash payments are not the expensive piece of the program. The health insurance benefits are. In 2001, the cost of health insurance benefits for an initial 14 persons was just over $40,000. By 2007, 510 people were covered. The cost had skyrocketed to $5.1 million. I understand that the Department of Planning and Budget now estimates those costs to be $17 million. Faced with this increasing cost or an economic turndown, the state decided localities should pay for the benefits for local employees, breaking an understanding that the state would always pay for this program. Local governments never asked for the benefits to be provided. The state created the program, made the decision as to who would be covered, and expanded the benefits over time. In 2010, localities were given the option to participate in the state LOTA program operated by the Virginia Retirement System, or to opt out of the program and pay for comparable benefits through some other means. Many localities have pulled out of the program, choosing either to self-insure or purchase coverage through a third-party provider. Next year, the city, in Williamsburg, stayed in the program. We're anticipating our premium next year will be $46,000 for this program. This unfunded mandate is very costly to local governments. They have no say in determining eligibility, amounts of benefits, or administrative reforms. We have no authorization to coordinate LOTA benefits with other benefits that protect taxpayers' interests. We just pay for the bills that we're told to pay, and that's about all we can do. Budget Before You resurrects a working group that met a couple of years ago to determine a fair and equitable division of financial responsibility for LOTA costs. The language also calls on the group to make recommendations on the structure and management of LOTA consistent with $17 million of funding in FY16. We ask you to support unwinding localities from this unfunded mandate. We also ask you that you rework the language in the bill to clarify the intent of the working group, to make it clear that it is the group's objective to remove local governments from funding requirements. The end result should be to restore state responsibility to administer and finance the full cost of the program. Just before I go, I'd like to say a word about and weigh in on a couple other amendments in the governor's budget. Local governments greatly appreciate the flexibility with regard to the proposed salary increase for teachers. The language requires the state funding be provided only for teacher salary increases, but does not require a specific percentage increase be given, or that local governments have to provide a matching funds. In Williamsburg's case, with an 80% composite index, trying to come up with that additional money is quite a burden on the city and our partner in our school system, James City County. So we do appreciate the flexibility that the language offers. And finally, we also appreciate the additional funding for the Virginia Preschool Initiative and for extending school years. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. And next, Meg Gruber, President of the Virginia Education Association. And the development rate.
Yes, sir. We up there tonight. Where's the question? Chairman Colgan, Chairman Stosh, committee members, ladies and gentlemen, I am Meg Gruber, President of the Virginia Education Association. I represent teachers and support professionals in all 132 school divisions across Virginia. I speak in support of Senate Bill 5003 and the governor's accompanying amendments, which will provide needed additional funds to public education. Our state per pupil support for public education ranks 38th in the nation. Our teacher salary ranks 37th in the nation, even though we rank as the 9th wealthiest state in the nation. Virginians support better funding for our public schools. This year's Commonwealth Education poll revealed that 65% of Virginians say schools do not have enough funds to meet their needs. And 75% in the same poll say that the amount of funding affects quality a great deal. The poll also found that Virginians are willing to pay more taxes in support to school funding levels. The governor's proposed amendments don't require any additional taxes. As you know, many of your colleagues in the more numerous legislative body do not agree with Virginians in this regard. And that brings me to the issue at hand. As Joe Flores clearly revealed to you at your November retreat, Medicaid expansion offers a significant opportunity to take pressure off the general fund by providing funding for indigent care and medical care of Department of Corrections inmates, for an example. The use of federal funding with the federal taxpayer dollars paid by Virginians will free up general fund dollars for our school, and this is precisely what we will see in Governor McCall's budget proposal. As you fulfill your constitutional obligation to, and I quote, ensure that an educational program of high quality is established and continually maintained, end quote. There is no more significant variable under your control than our Commonwealth's ability to attract and retain teachers of high quality. Budget Amendment 78, item 467, makes a step in the right direction in this regard and it puts public school employees on equal footing with other employee groups. For years, VEA has sought the option of participation in the state employee health plan for school divisions. JLARC has estimated that this will save the state between $44 and $64 million annually. We thank this committee for securing funds for the feasibility study, which was done in preparation for the 2014 session. Senator Norman helped us with this study in the issue of 2007. Amendment 3, item 81, jumpstarts this effort and provides this option to school divisions beginning July 1, 2015. We share this committee's commitment to addressing the needs of underperforming schools in Virginia. Amendment 15, item 135, increases funding for the extended school year grant program, a very wise investment. Investment in pre-K and dropout prevention, too, are wise investments of educational funding. Both will increase our students' future prospects. Amendment 25, item 136, holds harmless funding for Virginia Preschool Initiative, and Amendment 16, item 135, increases funding for one of the most successful and accountable dropout prevention programs, Jobs for Virginia Graduates. I have highlighted just a few of Governor McCall's amendments, which are reflective of our leadership our governor has shown in offering his plan to break the budget impasse, which serves us so poorly. The budget invests $150 million more in public education than Senate Bill 30 did in the regular session. From my perspective, SB 5003, which substantially increases Virginia's investment in public education and which substantially elevates the quality of health care to our citizens most in